NATO is heading into its July Ankara summit, with visible cracks emerging within the alliance. Member states are struggling to finalize a joint declaration as differences over Ukraine funding, fuel infrastructure, and the summit's political messaging threaten to overshadow the meeting. According to Bloomberg, diplomats involved in the negotiations say the proposed $70 billion package for Ukraine in 2026 and 2027 is not fresh military aid, but largely repackages previously agreed NATO commitments and funding from an existing European Union loan. That has added to the debate over how the alliance should frame its long-term support for Kyiv. The biggest disagreement centers on the wording of support for Ukraine. Bloomberg reports that Italy wants the final declaration to avoid explicitly committing military aid through 2027, arguing that such language could preempt the possibility of a negotiated settlement with Russia. Officials familiar with Rome's position insist Italy is not opposing aid to Kyiv, but is seeking more flexible language in the summit statement. The negotiations have also exposed competing strategic priorities within the alliance. Poland is pushing NATO to fund the eastward expansion of its Cold War-era military fuel pipeline network, while Turkey is seeking financial backing for its own fuel infrastructure modernization under NATO's broader security upgrade. The competing demands have further delayed consensus among allies. The divisions come ahead of a high-stakes summit expected to be attended by US President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly urged European allies to spend more on defense. The final declaration is also expected to reaffirm Russia as a long-term threat to Euro-Atlantic security and stress freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. But with negotiations still unresolved, NATO now faces the challenge of projecting unity before leaders even gather in Ankara.